Buzz.
All right. Hi, everyone. Dawn Loading here with Amber again from The Credit Couple. So our subject today, we're not going to do slides. We're just going to have a conversation because this is so heavy on so many people's plates right now. Best practices for living in survival mode. And what does that even mean? So, Amber, thank you so much I love these talks. Like, we are just going to really dig deep into giving people some hope and what to do. So, Amber is with The Credit Couple, and she's my go-to credit repair person where I send my buyers who need to improve their credit score in order to get the home that they want. They go to her to work on that. So, but what happens when you can't even afford to live, much less get into a new home? Like, this is so real. And we've all been here.
Yes, definitely.
That's the most important part. As entrepreneurs, like, we're here more than once in our lives, right, yes. Amber? Survival mode. But I think the first thing we should do is talk about, like, how do you recognize where you're at?
Yeah, I think that's important because what we were just saying before we got on, I think a lot of times we don't realize we are there. We don't see it coming. You know, it's kind of like the economy in general. You think, well, prices are going up. And at first everybody has this, we're all going to die. But, you know, you've survived this before. So you just kind of go on about your day. And I think another thing that we do is when we get close to needing to be in survival mode or going into survival mode, we are so focused on tomorrow's bill.
Mm-hmm.
Or the bill from last Tuesday that didn't get paid, or feeding our kids next week, or school time is coming up and, oh my gosh, I can't buy clothes, much less school supplies, that we don't have the time to plan. You know, we're so stuck right here in front of our faces that we don't see the future. To me, I think I have had two big cases in my life where we kind of went into survival mode. One, when we were teachers and we just weren't making ends meet. Between insurance and paying for our classrooms, we were broke, and we knew we were broke, but we missed it. We missed the mark. We did not recognize survival mode. We did get to the point we said we need to go back to school and find something that pays more money.
And that's the thing I love about entrepreneurship is, like, we're in charge of the work we do. And right. I haven't been an employee since I was 29 or 30 when I got my real estate license. And it's been a few times through being an entrepreneur that, you know, the economy changes, the market changes, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I've gone there as well. So I totally know what that's like. But as an entrepreneur, I feel like I'm able to recognize it sooner, make adjustments, and get on a new path.
Yeah. And that's what happened to us the second time. You know, we got into our business and we were working side jobs and we were doing this and doing that. And we decided that we wanted to really just go into our business hardcore 100%. And this time, instead of waiting until the last minute when I'm like, oh, I can't pay my rent, I need to go get another degree. We said, okay, this is going to happen to us. We're about to make a big change. Here are all the things that can happen and probably will, because I know my luck. I've lived with myself for 40 years, you know. So that's when we decided to move into the travel trailer. We knew that we were going to be focused on another part of our lives, which was building our business. We knew that we had debt we needed to pay off and that the income was not going to match the way we were living before. So we decided before we jumped into this new endeavor that we knew was going to put us in a bad position financially, to make those changes necessary before. And I think that was the learning that I've gotten as an entrepreneur, to work for the best, but, you know, to expect everything that can come your way and to really plan.
And I think I think being accountable, holding yourself accountable for facing the truth, like this is where I am, it's not going to kill you. Nothing is, going to knock on the door and literally, come to kill you. Like, but I feel like survival mode for me, that's what I would feel like. I would feel like I'm just waiting for someone to take my life. And I think a lot of that stems from my childhood and living in survival mode, as far as not just money, but also safety and security and different things like that. So in my adult life, I've seen that come through, and I've had to like literally stop myself and say, Dawn, like this is not where you're at. Like you need to look at where you're at, get your facts together, and let's figure out what the next step is. It's kind of like you got to pick yourself up out of the current, put yourself into the future, and start acting like that future you would act and do the things that she would do to get you out of that mess. So
Yeah, I've had this talk with both of my grown children in the last year. One of them decided to become a single parent. She left her spouse, and she was, I don't know how I'm going to make it. I only make this much money. I'm still in college. I still have all this. And I said, how many people have fallen over dead from being a single mom? You're going through a rough spot, but what are your goals?
yeah.
What do you want to be 5 years from now? What does 10 years from now you look like? And I think that is important, is that you start looking, acting, and behaving at who you want to be 10 years, 5 years, even 2 years from now. Because if you don't have goals and you don't have a light at the end of the tunnel, survival mode can bring you down.
Yeah, definitely.
Get you in a vicious cycle of survival mode that just keeps you there forever. You have to plan for today, and you have to cover that bill from last Tuesday. But you also have to figure out how next year you never have to worry
You're
about
not in the same situation.
Right.
If what's currently not working, if what's going on currently isn't working, then you've got to work on a new plan. And if you're an employee based family, and both are employed and your bills are not working, like you need to get on some kind of a debt repayment plan. Like let's talk about that. So like I'm going to use this couple that I have right now that are really wanting to sell their current house and get into another one, but they can't even pay the bills hardly at the house that they live in. So they have a lot of credit card debt, and they've just kind of racked it up. So what would your advice be? Like they're paying minimum payments on everything and don't have any extra, and they have a baby, they have a 2-year-old. So the mom can't really go out and work because she's taking care of the baby. So she works evenings, but that's just as a in a restaurant, but that's not really getting them ahead. Like she can't do anything. They're on a daycare waiting list. It's a long story, but do they just keep paying those minimum debts? Do you have any suggestions of good debt repayment programs that people can call?
If I'm being honest, no. I would not trust any of the debt repayment programs. Now, if they have excellent credit and they weren't trying to buy a house, if it was just their credit card balances were eating them alive, then definitely go get a loan from your bank. But in all honesty, I would not trust nor send my clients to any debt consolidation, any debt relief, any type of debt repayment program. It's going to hurt them in the long run.
Got it.
It's going to take a situation where they go into this debt relief. They're in it for 3 to 5 years, and then we need a year probably to fix their credit afterwards. So they've really thrown off their plans much further. I would at first, you have to go inside of you. Number one, like I just said, you're in a bad spot. You don't ever want to be in this bad spot again. But you're here now, so you have to do something. And I do understand, she has the baby, trying to work evenings. If they're working all the hours they can, if they're maximizing every Uber Eats, DoorDash, Instacart, whatever they can do on the side, driving Uber, whatever it is, you got it. We talked about this before. They've got to look at their bills.
Yeah.
I have never looked at someone's budget for them. And I don't, I am no professional. I'm not licensed, but I am very willing to help my clients. And I've never looked at anybody's bills and said, you know what? You really are doing the bare minimum. You really are putting everything you can towards your debt and saving as much money as possible.
Yeah.
I've never had to say that. Wow, I've looked at a whole month of your bank statements and you never went out to a fast food restaurant once. You never bought concert tickets. You never went and bought something you didn't need right now at Kohl's, or, something, clothing, purses, whatever. And I know, I'm very frugal. I was raised to be frugal. I am frugal. Especially going into this business, we're still in that mode to where I like this shirt and it's $30. Do I want that, or do I want to put this towards my business? But I think a lot of people aren't there yet. And so you really have to comb through where your money is going. Set a budget for yourself, set a limit for yourself. I know that we can get, Juwan and I, it's not so much the eating out. We go to the grocery store and go crazy. I have to order online so that we don't go nuts when we walk in there.
That's a really good tweak right there, is going online, placing your order and picking it up. My husband does all of our grocery shopping, but we got a list. Stick to the list. But he comes home every single time with at least 5 more items.
Lobster. And
I thought we'd have steak and lobster tonight. Like, what? Well, they were on sale. Well,
or there was a sale on cereal, but you go to the store and your kid has the 4 boxes that aren't on sale this week.
Right.
And I think, just doing things like that is huge. You really have to know where your money's going.
You do.
And not when you have a lot of it. When you have less of it, I think it's even more important to know where your money is going. Can you save a little on your car insurance? Have you been paying this credit card for a while? Can you call them and ask to get the interest rate lowered? Do you really need the highest power Wi-Fi? Do you need cable? Do you need Netflix and Disney and Hulu and Amazon Prime? And do you need all of these things? Are these things saving you money at this time? And I think that's another thing that we run into a lot now is all of these. Well, the subscription's only $9.
But those $9 add up to $100 so easily. I did this recently. Well, last year, I went in and printed out all my statements from the different accounts that I have and went through, and if my business didn't rely on it, I got rid of it. Got rid of the cable. We used to have cable. And then I had to go through again and get rid of all of those little, all those little apps. But Hulu, Netflix, we keep those, but that's still way cheaper than having cable, and there's just so many different things that you could do to tweak your budget a little bit. So
during COVID, because we were bored and at home, we were adding stuff all the time. And I got to looking one day and we had over $300 a month in subscriptions. Between, cologne being delivered to us and having, the makeup boxes and the Hulu and the Netflix and the games for the kids and the learning stuff for the kids. And it just every time you do it, you think it's a couple dollars.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. But
the biggest waste for me was the clothing box. Style, what was that called? What?
Was it Stitch Fix?
Yeah, Stitch Fix. I loved those clothes so much, but I didn't need that. I have a closet full of stuff. And so I finally shut that off, and I haven't missed it one bit since I did that. And so, Stitch Fix, and I had one of those beauty boxes coming too. I got rid of those too and saved myself $400 a month. That was huge.
And we're not
thinking if I'd have spent the last
do what?
I said, if I would have spent the last, year where I was getting all of those, that money could have paid off a credit card. But I was just, we were doing great then. And then the economy changed and I just had to change with it. And now I think moving forward, I don't place those. I'm very cautious about any kind of subscription.
Well, and I think we don't want to take the fun out of life. That's one thing I used to do all the time. I will buy things for me when I get to this level. I will do things for me when I get to this level. We will take vacations when I get to this level. And you were constantly trying to get to a level. And then you forgot that that whole time that you were trying to get to that level, you were alive. Your
Yeah.
kids were alive. Your life was going by. And so I don't ever want to take every bit of the fun from someone.
No, definitely
Juan
not.
and I, we love expensive perfume and cologne. It's like our thing. Juwan, like he gets his scent bird in and he just smells it for like an hour straight, and he's so excited. And so that's like the one thing that we spend $12.95 on a month each. That is our thing, and we get so excited, and it's like our birthday once a month. But that's it. That's all. And so we don't want to take away all of the fun.
Right. You have to just be cautious and mindful of the choices that you're making.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to not take your family for burgers, but what I'm saying is if you drive through McDonald's, I have a client right now who him and his wife eat out twice a day and then DoorDash or Uber Eats the third meal.
Oh my God, what? That's a ton of money.
Groceries, and the groceries are going bad. What are you doing? That's really hurting you. And I think that's step one. Evaluate where your money is going.
Yeah,
You have
definitely. And side gigs. Like this works for entrepreneurs as well. Like I have multiple streams of income. Some of them are not making a whole lot, but I have a credit card right here, or a card with this company. I'm an affiliate of so many different things that I believe in and that I use and that work for me in my business, that I signed up to be an affiliate. And it helps when I just let it add up on there and then use that for something special. Like that's like my reward. Like, I had up to $500 on this card from years of just not using it, and I needed to go on a trip to California, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have that card. Like, I'll use that." So, definitely think of your options is my point. Like,
yes.
if you're an entrepreneur, what could you do to add a little bit of extra income into your business? If you're an employee, what kind of side gig could you have to bring a little bit of extra money into your life?
I've seen and I think a lot of it's because the economy is bad right now. I mean, it is. And I have seen the most brilliant side hustles lately. Side hustle doesn't have to be Uber, DoorDash. It doesn't have to be delivering items. There are so many things that, you don't have to have like a specific talent to do. Affiliate programs are great. We have an affiliate program with our credit for our clients that we will actually pay our clients to get us good referrals. A lot of the places you're with will do that.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that if they'll just ask, hey, if I send you referrals, what can you do for me? There's also, I saw a lady post the other day and she said, look, I'm a stay-at-home mom and we've got to have some extra money. But I'm good at a lot of things. I just have a baby. Is there any business owner that needs help stuffing envelopes, cleaning up, filing things? Just maybe an hour or two a week, I can go do these different things for you. Wow. Because me as a business owner, I'm like, let me make you a list.
Right.
And I'm just a small business owner working out of my house. So that's brilliant. She's just offering, and that was always my fear. Well, I just need somebody for like an hour a week to come do stuff.
Yeah, that's a great idea. She'll probably fill up her schedule with that
Yeah.
and be able to have her baby. So that's a great idea.
And it doesn't cost the small business owner who is also going to be struggling in this economy a fortune. If I can pay her $25, $30 to come over here and do an hour of concentrated work that I just couldn't get done, she made money. I got my work done so I can make money, and that works. Another one I've seen is, and this one's hilarious, but it's painting your address on your curb. People pay $50 for that. That costs 10 cents in spray paint. And you get stencils. It doesn't take I'm not artistic. I feel like I could do it. But things like that make a ton of money without a big investment. So really just finding your niche and going out and doing it to get that extra money coming in.
Love
And like I
it.
said, it doesn't have to be food delivery. It doesn't have to be driving people around. It can be anything. Throw
Love it.
some offers out there.
Yeah. And that's really it. Like, if you're in the place where you're just buried, reach out to somebody. Like, don't just bury your head in the sand. Like, we have to take action to create a different life that we want.
And
And
sometimes even just calling your friend and saying, "Hey, I'm doing really bad at spending. Can you look over this for a trusted friend? Let's go over this together. Can you give me an hour of your time?" Sometimes that's all it takes. And your friend's like, "How many times did you go to Taco Bell?" You know, and then you feel bad, and then you're kind of conscious of that from now on. So you're right. Just taking that first step and going, okay, I'm not doing something correctly.
And there's
Something is
a couple of different apps too. My son, I'm so proud of him. He got this app, and I don't know what it is now, but he put all of his bills in it, and it tells him and his income, and it tells him how much money he has to spend for the week, like before his next payday. After all the bills are paid, you've got $30 to spend extra. So he's aware, because of all the automations and all the automated withdrawals and everything that we do, like, we get to the point where we're like not even paying attention. And if there's not enough money, you what do you do? And so I love that he used that app, and darn it, I can't remember. I think it's Rocket, maybe.
okay. I'll
I don't
look that.
know. I'll have to find out and tell you another time. And if anybody is watching this recording, message me. I'll get the name of that app for you. So, anyway, well, thank you so much, Amber. Like, this has been, this is huge for everybody. Just how to get from where we are now to where we want to be. And so, do you have anything else
I
to add to
do.
it
Just
today?
something really short. The mental
Okay.
toll of
Yeah,
being in survival mode. That getting in that cycle and there's no way out.
yeah,
I think it's important, like I said before, don't take away all of your fun.
yeah,
Reward yourself for small accomplishments. Let's say that you put all of your extra money towards a credit card and you pay that $300 credit card off. It's gone. That's not huge in the big scheme of things, but it's gone. And I would tell you automatically take that next month's $50 and put it towards another bill. Go reward yourself.
awesome.
You have to you have to keep your spirits high. You have to keep your mental health in check when you are in survival mode, because it does take a toll. It takes a toll on you mentally, which takes a toll on you physically. I mean,
Well,
it's
and
it's
marriages, like, that is the hardest part. Like, marriages ugh, rarely last through that, honestly. Like, it's so easy to just get a divorce these days, but to make it through that and rely on each other and really work through it is key. So, talking about mental, like, it just does so much damage.
and
It's
opening
hard.
your mouth and talking in that relationship is important too.
Yeah.
Having good communication, all of it is important. And if you feel down about the situation that you're in and it's affecting more than just, oh, I can't pay my bills. If you're waking up and you're feeling down, you're not alone. There are so many people out there right now. My daughter said the other day, I said, why has the service at restaurants gone down so bad since COVID? Like, the service is awful. And my daughter works in healthcare, and she said, Mom, you wouldn't believe the mental health status of just the general population right now. She said, we have more appointments, and this is a normal family practice clinic. We have more appointments for mental health than anything else now. She said, people are down. She said, those
Yeah.
people working in the restaurant, they can't pay their bills when they get home. It's not that they're trying to give poor service. They're stressed out. They're distracted. They're down. And it really made me think about, just the state of all of us right now. As a world, as an earth, we went through something huge a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then our economy did this thing for a little while and then took a nosedive and took all of us with it. And so while we're recovering from COVID, we're also dealing with the fallout, which the fallout's going to last for a while. So don't be mad at yourself, I guess is what I'm saying. Don't get down on
Don't be
yourself.
so hard on yourself. Don't be so judging of yourself.
We as people have been through a lot in the last 3 years. We really have. And it's okay to feel that way. You just need a plan to change it.
Well, and it's funny because I do a lot of mental health things, mindset work with agents, and I'm really like my biggest client when it comes to the mindset part of all of this. And the first step that you have to do is forgive yourself. Like literally just forgive yourself. And have a good cry. Let some of that energy out that is so stressful from living in survival mode. And then you'll be able to try to put a plan together for moving forward. And I mean, it's just huge. It's so easy to be so hard on ourselves to the point where we're negative. We're in a negative place,
Mhm.
and that's just no place to be because you can't build on that.
Right. You can't, if there's no light at the end, what are you trying to walk towards? You're
Right.
walking in a circle.
Yep.
Definitely. So that mental health portion of that is a huge factor.
Huge. So, all right. Well, everybody, I hope that this helped. I don't know really, I don't have suggestions of companies to go to. I don't really, Amber's a great person to talk to. She's really good with budgets. She's a credit repair person. She could probably help you more than anyone else. So, depending on what your goals are, reach out to us and let's get you connected with the right place. I'm a connector. Like, I literally know people in every field out there and have advice on what could possibly help you. So, with that being said, that's all we have for today. So thank you so much, Amber, for all of your help. And I would say see you next time, but I think that my financial freedom series is over. We're all out of subjects. We have covered everything. So if you missed any of the other ones, go to my YouTube channel and you can find them there. And well, Amber and I are not done yet though. So we'll be back and we'll do something different. So
Yes, we
till
will.
then, thank you and goodbye. Make it a
Thank you.
great day.